In this session, I want to talk to you guys about being a godly leader. I want to talk to you guys about being a godly entrepreneur. There's so many times that I've looked and I've seen so many types of leaders, and I've looked and seen so many types of people. I think the most inspiring to me is those that are servant leaders. And what does it mean to really be a servant leader? It means to be one that is there to look out for the well-being of their people more than just the well-being of themselves. There are times that you have to make decisions that are a little bit uncomfortable. There are times that making some of these decisions make you feel like, why do I have to do this? But there are times that people do things in business and things that you have to fire them. It stinks because you really like them as a person, or you want them around, or you need the help. But being a godly leader, you can handle situations and circumstances like that in two different ways. You can be godly about it, or you can almost be like the devil and try to run them over and kill them, and make them feel even worse than they probably already do. So, as a servant leader, you always want to look out for the betterment and the best and the well-being of the people that you're serving or the people that you're leading. One of the greatest examples that I've ever seen is a friend of mine. He was a pastor, and if there was ever anything that needed to be done, he would empower people to do the job, but yet he would also be there right alongside them, making sure that the job got done. For me, that was the most encouraging, and it was so much fun to watch him as a servant leader. There were more people that seemed to follow him than others that just stood by the sidelines and said, go get all this done and go do it, and they just stood there and watched him. So as a servant leader, be one that's always looking out for the betterment and for the well-being of the people that you're serving and the people that are following you. When I say people that are serving you or the people that you're serving, we should always have a mindset that our life is to give back into our employees, and our life is to give back into the ones that we're leading, because the more that we're able to help and grow and develop them, the more expanded the vision's going to be, and the more powerful the effect and the influence of our business, of our life is going to be. If we're not serving the people that are with us, they're probably not going to be with us very long. If we're not helping them be the best person that they can be, they're probably not going to be with us very long. So as a servant leader, know that you should be the one, or if you're not a servant leader, you should know that they're probably not going to be, and the people probably aren't going to be with you very long if you're not there to help them become the best them that they can be. If you're not there to be and to help them understand and know that they can be better than what they're currently doing. And if you're not looking out for their well-being, they're probably not going to be too excited about working for you very long. As a godly leader, we're not called to be slave drivers. We're not called to beat people over the back and make them do things and say, you know what, if you don't do this and you don't do that, you're going to get fired, or you're going to get this, or you're going to get that. We shouldn't be full of threats. We shouldn't be like driving slaves every day. I have friends of mine that tell me that I am a slave driver, and I think it's a joke. But, for me, it's hard not to just work hard. I've only known working hard my entire life. So for me, I get up and I go to work, and I work and I work and I work. And most of the time I don't take a break and things like that, but it's just me. And so for whatever reason, people see what I do and think that they need to do the same thing. Well, as a servant leader, we should be ones that, you've got to understand as a leader and as a servant leader and as an entrepreneur that the people that are serving you or the people that you're leading don't have the same drive that you do. They don't have the same drive to see the vision fulfilled that you do. For whatever reason, most employees don't see the business as your business. They just see it as a way and a means to an end. They see it as a way to get a paycheck. They see it as a way to just come in, and clock out. So for us, we've got to begin to inspire those people to be better. We've got to inspire those people to be like, we've got to inspire those people. We can't be a slave driver. And if you're a slave driver and just one that beats people over the head all the time and tells them that you've got to get to do this and you've got to do this and you've got to do that, and you're not being a servant leader, as a servant leader, people will want to follow your example. And again, it goes back to actions. Your actions will speak louder than your words. As a slave driver, you would be there and you're just beating them over the head that you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, and you're doing nothing. But as a servant leader, you're there with them. You're there helping them. You're there, making a sales call. You're there making another deal. You're there helping them and showing them that it is possible. For me, I look at a big organization that I do some business with, and I almost see their employees see all of the managers as slave drivers, and they don't understand. The employees there, they want to serve and they want to help the customer, but the managers above them are only saying, you know what, you're going to get fired or you're going to get demoted if you don't make this sales quota, if you don't make this, if you don't make this. And I understand us having to meet quotas and wanting to meet quotas and wanting to push people to and steering them more in the direction of our profitable items. But at the end of the day, if it makes the sales experience bad, you leave with a bad taste in your mouth and things don't feel very good, that's not a good experience. For me, that organization I've been doing work with, I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there because they continually push these products and things that I don't want and things that I don't need, and I don't feel like I can even get out the door. So don't be that manager that is just pushing to get something your clients don't even want. Make sure that what you're pushing and what you're desiring is you're trying to serve your clients as well. Making a profitable venture and serving your clients, when you merge those two, it's going to be something so valuable and so vital that it's going to be hard to pass up. Clients are going to want to come to you. Clients are going to come running to you because you are going to be different. You're going to be one that serves them and not just serves yourself. And again, back to being the slave driver. As a slave driver, you're just serving yourself. You cannot, I say you cannot. You can be selfish and become a very successful entrepreneur. But I don't think your quality of life is going to be very good. For me, I want to be able to sleep every night. I had an incident come last night and came to my phone late. And, for me, I desire to do things the best all the time. And so for me, it was hard for me to sleep last night because I got a text from a client that was saying something wasn't right and things like that. And for me, I don't like it when things like that happen. I want to serve my clients and give them the best that they can get. I know other people that do the same thing I do, that they would have said, oh, you know what, who cares? I don't care. I'm not going back. But for me, I want to be a servant leader and I want to lead by example. I have a contractor that's at that same job this morning early because he sees me get there early. I show him and I encourage him that, let's get the jobs done. Let's get them done right the first time so we don't have to go back. And I try to help develop him. This same contractor is the one that I helped get into business. He was just doing a little bit of things on the side and doing a little here and doing a little there. And now the guy has 5 people that work for him because I was able to serve him and help him become better. So, you inspire people by serving and being a servant leader. You inspire people to give more of themselves and to dig down deeper and see that they can be more than just what they see in their natural eye. This guy's an immigrant and he didn't think he could do it. He didn't think he could make it, but he is. He is making it. He's being successful at doing what he's doing because I was able to help serve him and show him that he could be the best that he could be. I was looking out for the well-being of him. Now he's willing to help me because I was able to help him. there will be times that we have to push people past the limits of what they think and what they see. There will be times that it's a little uncomfortable doing this, but we are called to stretch people as entrepreneurs. So we're called to get people out of their box and stretch them and expand them so that they can be better than what they think they can be. You know, I look at so many stories in the Bible, and one of my most favorite stories is the story of David. You know, you look at the story of David, and to begin with his life, he was just out tending the sheep. He was out just tending the sheep and just praying and, you know, just loving on God, tending the sheep. Well, there's a day that David went to bring his brothers food. You know, could you imagine being the servant? God called Samuel to go to Jesse's house and to anoint the next king, okay? So Samuel goes to Jesse's house and looks at all of his sons, and he says, do you not have another one? God sent me here to anoint your son king. Do you not have another one? And then Jesse goes, oh yeah, I've got that one out there in the field. And so they say, go get him. So he comes in, and God says, this is the one, David, that's going to be the king, the next king. And so he gets anointed, and then guess what? He goes right back out to the field. And then battle comes, and so his dad goes, David, I need you to bring this food to your brothers on the battlefield. So David took the food to the battlefield, and then he heard of this guy named Goliath that was coming against the armies of God, that was coming against the Israelites. And they said, send me a man. And Goliath said, send me a man that I can slaughter. Send me a man so that we can take you into our captivity and things like that. And so David goes, who are you that you would defile the armies of the living God? You know, God was speaking to David, and God was showing David things to come when David was in the field. God was stretching David past himself when he was in the field. David understood, and he knew that he had a covenant with God. David understood, and he knew that as an Israelite that he had a covenant with God. So when he went to that battlefield and he heard Goliath basically condemning the Israelites, he said, who are you, you uncircumcised Philistine? Who are you that you would defile the armies of the living God? And David said, give it to me, I'll take you. So then they tried to fit David with all this armor and all this stuff that David wasn't even comfortable with. And David goes, you know what? This isn't going to work. Give me a sling and give me my stones. He said, you know what? The bears come after us, the lion, and they've all went to the wayside. You know, could you imagine for David, if David would not have stood up and understood the importance of the process and understood the importance of growing, he may have not slain the lion. He may have not slain the bear. He may have just went to the battle and goes, I don't know, I can't do it. If he wouldn't have done those things to protect the sheep in the field, when David went to the battlefield, he may not have known and had the confidence in God that he did when he went to the battlefield. So as a godly leader, we're going to have to stretch people and push people past their limits, the same way God did for David. You know, God gave David an opportunity, and David capitalized on that opportunity. For us as godly leaders and servant leaders, we must give people the opportunity to grow, and they will then either take that opportunity or leave that opportunity. And when they take that opportunity, it's so rewarding because they take the opportunity and then they're able to build on the momentum that they got from that opportunity that they succeeded from. You know, I was talking to David, a guy that really helped me in my life, and I was telling him thank you yesterday just for giving me the opportunity to succeed. David put my name on land. David moved from Texarkana to Tulsa to move me up here because he knew there was more on me than I knew was on me. So I know that we as servant leaders and godly leaders, we have to get outside of our box sometimes and stretch people past their limits. Just like God did for David, the way David Fields did for me. He stretched me, he pushed me. He said, Andy, I think God's telling us to move to Tulsa. I said, David, you're crazy. I'm not moving to Tulsa. Why would I move to Tulsa? I've never been there in my life. I have no family there. I have nothing there. But I got here and God said move. So David, as a godly leader, he pushed me to do something that I didn't want to do. He gave me the opportunity to grow. He gave me the opportunity to be better than I ever thought I could have been. Now I'm here. I've been on 13 different mission trips in 12 years to 9 different nations. All I can say is look what the Lord has done, because I had a godly leader and a servant leader in my life that was willing to help me go beyond and step further beyond anything that I could ever imagine or dream. Do that for the people that are surrounding you. Give them the opportunity to be great. There's going to be some that slap you in the face, but there are going to be some that take the opportunity and run with it. So get and develop the ones that want to run with it. So as a godly leader, develop people, love people, serve people.